Princess of Wales' uncle is currently appearing on ITV's Celebrity Big Brother. Now, he has said that she is getting the best care in the world.
Yes, but Gary Goldsmith declined to talk further about Kate's health due to, quote, code of etiquette.
Now, there has been huge speculation on social media about the princess's health after she underwent abdominal surgery earlier this year.
Joining us now is royal commentator Richard Fitzwilliams. Good morning to you, Richard. What's going on here, then? There's been claims that Gary Goldsmith is making the royal family squirm and he's embarrassing them. Is it fair comment, or is he just having a bit of fun?
Well, of course, I mean, if you take it seriously, and I think there is a certain amount here of cheapening matters. After all, we know why Gary Goldsmith is on Big Brother, and that is because he's the Princess of Wales' uncle, obviously. I mean, it's been a very difficult time for her because since Prince William, for this personal matter, missed the memorial service for King Constantine, the fact that we last saw the princess in December, and she subsequently, of course, had problems, the paparazzi, the Ministry of Defence, and the trooping of the colour rehearsal where she was billed to appear, and that was premature and so on. I mean, we simply don't know when she'll be resuming royal engagements. Regarding Uncle Gary, I think the Middleton family will be very, very relieved if he is voted out by the public, as may happen very, very soon. I think that all these pearls of wisdom that he's dispensing about Harry throwing his family under the bus and whatever, I mean, we know why he's there, and it's an attempt to gain publicity. It's got an enormous amount of press, but it's not very dignified. And frankly, would you vote for Uncle Gary to be removed?
Well, it is going to be giving the royal family quite a headache, isn't it? I'm sure it's making them very, very nervous indeed, especially because they are trying to strike this balance, aren't they, between what we're seeing with King Charles and being open with his cancer diagnosis, which is quite a modern way of approaching his health compared to his late mother, of course. But then we're seeing the more traditional stance, aren't we, from the Princess of Wales, wanting her privacy, not wanting any press invasion. But we're also seeing, and perhaps as a result of trying to strike that balance, which is proving very difficult, Richard, that thirst for information online. I mean, the Princess of Wales's name has been trending pretty much since she had this operation. It is a very difficult balance to strike, and we're seeing two very different approaches from members of the royal family here.
Well, yes, I mean, you're quite right. It is a very, very difficult balance on very, very sensitive subjects. King Charles has undoubtedly done the nation a favour by the issue of his prostrate, mentioning this and being open about it. On the other hand, of course, we don't know the details of the cancer that, most sadly, he is currently receiving treatment for. And as you're quite right, I mean, we don't know the details of Catherine's abdominal surgery. It is difficult because, on the other hand, you're always going to get the speculation online, and I mean, the palace have to take account of that. I would have thought it might have been an idea to have an occasional photograph or some form of update, not a formal one, and not every week or every so often, but simply to make people feel that they were a little more in touch. But as you say, it is an impossible balance to strike, and Uncle Gary on Big Brother shooting his mouth off is certainly not helping.
Richard, can I get your thoughts, please, on a great story on the front of the Sun newspaper this morning? Typical tabloid exclusive. Harry's pants sell for $250,000. His infamous partying in Las Vegas all those years ago, where he was pictured frolicking naked on pool tables and whatnot. The boxer shorts he was wearing at the time have been sold at auction in America. What do you think the Duke will make of that?
Well, I suspect that it may be made up, but of course, since it's the Sun, how could I possibly correct it? I mean, we know that what happens in Vegas after that infamous incident, people flock to Vegas because, of course, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas was, well, I mean, quite rightly, this was the slogan that stuck. Wonderful for PR. This is a bit of fun. And I mean, we all remember that. We remember the old Harry, and I look back to the old Harry, perhaps not that exact incident, but Harry at that time with enormous affection. I wish that some form of reconciliation might occur, but I most certainly don't see it at the moment, but you never know what the future holds.
Well, of course, it's a stark reminder of the Harry we used to know in Britain, isn't it? And his change, I guess some would say, has been absolutely incredible. This situation with the health of the Princess of Wales and the King at the moment, are you disappointed even that he's not seized on the opportunity to kind of make amends with his family? This is the golden opportunity, surely.
Oh, no, but remember, it takes two sides, and after 4 years of the Sussexes, frankly, cold and overt betrayal, to coin a phrase, I think the royal family don't trust them, and with good reason. I mean, of course, Harry, as you know, came over the moment he heard that his father had cancer, but the issues that remain between him and William, and this idea that he might suddenly pick up some form of royal duty or whatever, it's simply not practical. He hasn't got any patronages anyway. And anyway, if that happened, you'd have the royal family turning into a Sussex circus. It's bad enough with Uncle Gary. Imagine what it would be with Harry and Meghan suddenly in some form returning, which they certainly won't do. But I mean, you never can rule anything out. You never know exactly what's going to happen because, of course, cancer is, as we all know, as millions know, it is a desperately serious illness. And obviously, Harry was concerned from that point of view. On the other hand, there it stays for the moment. The best way of any form of reconciliation would, in fact, be private. Some form of contact in the weeks and months which led to something meaningful and led to the end of the Sussexes' attacks on the royal family. That has to be absolute.
Yes, I'm sure many people would agree with you. Richard Fitzwilliams, really good to see you this morning. Thank you very much.